Hey, today I'll be talking about episodes 21 through 23 of RuYi's Royal Love. It's now been 6 months since RuYi was sent to the Cold Palace. RuYi and Suoshin are suffering from what seems to be really bad rheumatism, which is weird since they're the only ones so heavily affected. Suoshin asks Yuncha to go and see Dr. Jiang, and though he isn't allowed to go to the Cold Palace, he sends Yuncha back with some medicine and a promise that he will try his best to come and see them.
转告所幸和遗嘱，微臣一定会想办法进去的。
Meanwhile, the other doctors are busy with the second prince. The Empress has not learned her lesson at all and continues to push her son too hard, causing him to get sicker and sicker. The nonsense she pulls to seem like a good mother is ridiculous. You know what's better than a few measly drops of blood? Actually caring for your son.
娘娘别担心。
Hailan has stopped going to see RuYi but flies a kite for her every 10 days. RuYi can see it from the Cold Palace and it's just a sweet little thing between them. Unfortunately, on this day, she is spotted by the Empress and her cronies. The Empress is in a bad mood because of her son, and Arua makes things worse by playing up how dedicated Hailan still is to RuYi.
这是当年海贵人送给冷宫里那位，凑作一对儿的梅花香囊。海贵人对这香囊还真是日日带着呀。
Using the excuse that Hailan is being merry while the crown prince is suffering, the Empress tells her to kneel for 4 hours.
等着大雨冲洗干净这肮脏心肠。
It starts to rain and Hailan has no choice but to bear it. Finally, after time is up, she stumbles over to the Cold Palace on her own.
不许跟着我，
RuYi hears Hailan banging on the Cold Palace gate. She tells RuYi what happened and it's clear she doesn't think she can make it much longer without her. RuYi reminds her that she's the one who saved her when she was framed for poisoning Mei. She's brave when she wants to stand up for RuYi, but she needs to tap into that when she stands up for herself.
没有姐姐，我做不到。
It would be so easy for a character like Hailan to be annoying or seem pathetic, but I never feel that way about her. Not every woman is a sexy, scheming badass. Some people are just people. It's easy to forget with all these fearless women around, but palace life is actually terrifying.
我怕皇上。
Yeah, I would be scared of a man who could kill me on a whim too, not to mention their history. I also like that RuYi is sympathetic, but she's not coddling her. She comforts her, but makes sure she knows that from the Cold Palace, there really isn't anything she can do for her. As much as it hurts, her only options are to toughen up or get bullied to death. And how many times and in how many ways can I say Jo Shun is a great actress? As Hailan stumbles home, she stops at a temple where Hui is praying for the second prince. She overhears Hui talking about her hand in Yi and Mei's miscarriages, as well as pinning the blame on RuYi.
除掉乌拉那拉氏，也是去了皇后娘娘多年的一块心病。
I love this drama, but what even is the seed? So those are all the bad things I've ever done, in case anyone is listening. Alright, you ready to go? Okay, alright, let's go. Here's the thing though, Hailan misunderstands what Hui said. Hui said she did all of this for the Empress, but Hailan assumes this means that the Empress ordered her to do it. Not so. In case you need a reminder, Hui did all of this with the help of Su Lian, and unbeknownst to her, their strings were pulled by the puppet master, Jia. The Empress didn't really have a hand in it, but the point is, Hailan now thinks she did. That night, it seems like it will all be too much for her. This palace and the women in it are insane, and the scheming just never ends. I get it, Hailan, I do. But this time, instead of retreating into herself, she thinks back to what RuYi said and takes strength from it. A few days later, she's recovered from her chill and she clearly has a new mindset. She dolls herself up to the creepiest background music ever. But oh, I do love this scene. How exciting is it to see Hailan like this? Hailan then goes to the embroidery department and makes herself useful, advising the servants on how to make a blanket that the Empress Dowager will love. The Emperor has been worrying about this present for weeks and is very turned on hearing her so confident and knowledgeable about thread. That night, she gets the sex burrito. Don't be mistaken though, she hasn't suddenly started liking the Emperor. At every given opportunity, she still brings up RuYi, trying to gauge if the Emperor really has given up on her. Not long after, it's a huge blow to the Empress as we find out that second prince has died. The Empress had been doing her best to keep him safe, but some reeds blew in, triggered an asthmatic reaction, and yeah, he's dead. So was this Hailan and Lianshin? First, we saw Hailan earlier with reeds she got for decoration, but she was looking like an evil villain. Second, that night, Lianshin volunteers to watch Second Prince, and we know she wants nothing more than to hurt the Empress. And when the news about Second Prince comes, Hailan just looks guilty. I mean, look at her. When she goes to speak to RuYi next, Hailan does seem to have become a bit hardened.
你千万不要可怜自作孽之人，只是 心疼孩子，我却可怜姐姐。
And later, we see her burning joss paper for the dead prince. The evidence is there. What's making me hesitate is what this would say about their characters. I mean, killing children is evil to the point where these two characters would be completely irredeemable in my eyes. And honestly, I think that's why the writers purposely made this part so unclear. There are strong hints and plausible theories, like maybe when Hailan offered to fix the third prince's doll, she put reeds in there, knowing he would play with the second prince. Maybe she put some reeds in his pillow and had Lian Xin sneak it into his room. Maybe it was as simple as Lian Xin opening a window that night. The point is, we never see any of that happen. So if you want to be in denial, like I am, I'm gonna say there isn't any concrete evidence to say for 100% sure that Hailan did this. Even during the paper burning scene, she seems guilty, but she doesn't outright admit guilt. You could say her conversation with RuYi made her feel guilty about how happy she was about Second Prince's death.
就怪你额娘。
Hui later finds some of the paper offerings and suspects that someone caused the prince's death. Since the fire was found near the Cold Palace, that inevitably points to RuYi. So just a note on this paper burning if you're wondering why Hui is so immediately suspicious. To start, burning joss paper is meant as an offering for the dead. In China, it's common to burn paper money during the Qingming or tomb sweeping festival, which was quite recently actually, so I saw this all over the place walking around Beijing at night. In this drama though, Hailan is burning paper people as playmates for Second Prince in the afterlife. When Hui finds out, she first wonders if someone is doing it out of love for the Second Prince, but then, since it came from the Cold Palace, that couldn't be the case. Hailan was doing it because she felt either bad for him or guilty for killing him. This was a way to comfort herself a bit. Hui assumes it must have been RuYi who cursed the Second Prince. She decides to hold on to this information, and in the meantime, Jia successfully gives birth to a son. The timing couldn't be better. Now, the Empress has no sons, and with Yi and Mei's miscarriages, this was the firstborn after the Emperor took the throne. That auspicious sign that everyone was trying so hard to get. Jia might have made a move on the Second Prince sooner or later, but she didn't even have to lift a finger this time, and the path has been cleared for her son to be the next Crown Prince. Welcome to the madhouse, Fourth Prince. Chun is also feeling the Crown Prince fever, and though she promised to look after First Prince as if he was her own, she starts giving her son, Third Prince, clearly preferential treatment. She's promoted to consort, and with that, starts to feel like she has a chance to make it if she can just get her son into the running. First Prince completely understands.
我不是陈娘娘亲生的，她有亲生的皇子，母亲只有我一个。
Instead of being bitter, he does more to make himself less of a threat to Chun, like spending his free time teaching Third Prince how to read. It's crazy how much more mature he is than some of the actual adults in this place.
奴婢啊，是怕你委屈了。
就算替我委屈，也别被陈娘娘看出来。
So, if this were any other character, I would say, yeah, obviously these two work together and kill the Second Prince. But I really don't want to believe this about Hailan. Her unwavering devotion to RuYi has been apparent from the beginning, but this is just on another level altogether. I guess there's just one question here. Is Hailan a good person? And honestly, I love her, but no. Think of it this way. If the Empress had been the one to save her and show her kindness, would Hailan be on the Empress's side right now as one of the bad guys? Definitely. I suppose she only seemed good because RuYi is good and she wants to follow RuYi, and she also never had any power, and we don't know anything about her life as a servant. But the point is, no, I don't think Hailan is a kind-hearted person. Lian Xin, I 100% believe would do this. As a character, we don't know her that well, but she has been through a lot just these last few years, and living with the woman who put her through all that and continues to hold on to her using her siblings as hostages, that hate alone would be more than enough. Can I just pretend Lian Xin did this alone? That Hailan is still our sweet little girl? She did it, didn't she? Till next time, thanks for watching.